Good morning, everyone. When I first went to seminary at 18, I got the false idea in my head that in order for me to become a saint, I had to become someone I wasn't. And this false thinking caused a number of problems. Maybe I became a little stubborn with my family, maybe a little rigid with others, because maybe this fervor that I had was misdirected. I remember being at a summer picnic. The seminary used to have a picnic every year for the families, and we were all there, and I was talking to a priest named Father de Perry. And Father de Perry said something to me that was very important, and something that became a turning point for me at that season of my life. I remember we were talking about vocation, and he said, Gerald, when God called you, he called you. He wasn't calling someone you're not, nor is he expecting you to become somebody you're not. He said that God wanted me to be me, and that included my personality. And then he said with a smile, but the rough parts still have to be smoothed over. Turns out that part is easier said than done. God has called you to be a saint. God has called you to be a saint. Maybe you don't think that holiness is possible in your life. Maybe you don't understand that call. Maybe you don't even think you are capable of holiness. But you are. Holiness is nothing else than becoming who God has made you to be. It is the process of becoming the best version of yourself. Not someone you aren't, but who you are. Again, with the rough parts smoothed over. In the 2nd century, Saint Irenaeus put it this way. He said, "The glory of God is a person fully alive. The saints live lives fully alive, and that's what God wants for you too." Each week through the course of the summer, we're going to look at the life of a different saint and see what lessons we can draw from their lives. Hopefully, in one way or another, these messages will be a turning point for you. Because in ways big and in ways small, we want to help you walk along the path to a better life through Jesus Christ. Today we're talking about a saint who died at age 24 from tuberculosis. Her nickname is the Little Flower, Saint Therese of Lisieux. The story of Saint Therese illustrates the simplicity of a turning point that she had that changed her heart. You see, she was the youngest of 9 siblings, and she was spoiled by her father and her older sisters. But early one Christmas morning in 1886, her father made it known to little Therese that moving forward, she was going to get no more special Christmas gifts because she was now too old. And when she heard it, it stung. But it was a turning point for her. Therese, who was on the verge of tears in that moment, also felt overcome by the presence of Jesus. When she was reflecting on this experience, she wrote this: "I received the grace of leaving my childhood. In a word, the grace of my complete conversion. I felt charity enter into my soul, the need to forget myself and to please others. And since then, I've been happy." I bet that if you look at your life, you can see some moments where someone said something to you, maybe it was painful or joyful, but that became a turning point for you. Now, like Therese, maybe someone said something to you that stung, but it got you thinking, and that thinking set you on a better path. Saint Therese became a nun and entered the convent in Lisieux at age 15, which even for her time was a little bit young. And since she died at 24, she only spent 9 years in the convent, and they were quiet and unremarkable years on the outside. But on the inside, she completely gave herself to God and to the sisters of her community. One of Therese's most important insights is what she calls the little way. The little way is not about fear of God, but about approaching God with all of the confidence that a little child approaches her parents with open arms and complete trust. The little way is simple, humble, and loving. It's a commitment to the tasks that we do every day, as well as to the people that we meet every day. The little way isn't something that we need to travel a far way to find a change. No, we can find the little way right where we are. The little way is simple, but it's not always easy. It's not always easy because it's based on love. And love, well, true love, it requires you to give everything. In the convent where Saint Therese was, there were a number of sisters, and I'm sure you have someone like this in your life. There was one sister who she didn't get along with, who rubbed her the wrong way, who she found hard to be around, and the rest. Now, when we encounter people like this, we might be inclined to avoid them altogether, to give them the cold shoulder, maybe to give them a snide comment. But that wasn't what Therese did. Saint Therese, or Sister Therese at that point, this is what she said. She wrote in her diary, "Whenever I was tempted to speak unpleasantly to her, I made myself give her a pleasant smile." And after a while, this kindness won over the difficult sister. Because one day, this difficult sister came to her with a beaming smile and said, "Sister Therese, will you please tell me what attracts you so much to me? You give me such a charming smile whenever we meet." Is there someone in your life who's unpleasant? Do you think you can be pleasant to them anyway? This is important because every relationship we have has the potential to be a turning point for love. And also, I'd say this insight of Saint Therese is important for our parish, because our parish isn't simply a couple of buildings, but a collection of people. Our parish isn't strengthened by brick and mortar, but by individuals who put themselves at the service of others. In today's gospel, we saw Jesus by the shore of the sea with a crowd around him. This crowd is united in their curiosity about Jesus, as well as the potential that they have for this encounter to be a turning point in their lives. In the crowd, as we heard, there was a man named Jairus. Jairus had great need because his daughter was at the point of death, but he also had great faith because he believed that Jesus could do something about it. And so he invited him to his house, and they set off, but they were delayed on the way, so far to the point that the girl died, and messengers came to meet them along the way, and they said to Jairus, "Your daughter has died. Why trouble the teacher any longer?" Now, Jesus here doesn't change course.